Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way, yeah. Birds jumping and I hear my name, grasping into a life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a roll. Savannah, Lion's gonna come. The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the land. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a roll. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty.
Johnny, what's going on, man? Hey, McKnight, how you doing? Happy Friday. Just checking out Burbank from ORBX, making sure it looks okay. Be our first flight out of here over to Vegas, and then we'll come back as well. That looks good. All right, so we're in the A320 NEO mod. So the community's been working on this one for a couple of days now, so we're gonna check it out. See, a lot of these in-op switches have been worked on, so that looks good. Birdie. Yeah, it does look good, man. I think it's the same. Reminds me, I gotta put this to live weather and live time. It's the same rendition that they had in P3D, so they just ported it over, obviously, but with some additional changes to be compatible with MFS. So let me put in this flight plan here. Our alternate today is going to be on Ontario. Johnny, have you tried this one out yet? I still gotta fly the CJ4 as well. Get some fuel. Let's see, so SimBrief gave us 12,824. Supposedly the fuel burn is fixed on here as well, but I'm not trusting it, so I'm going to put a little bit more than what SimBrief is calling for. We've got 23 in there now. Let's bring that back. Go with 16 to be safe. Payload. Our TOW is 133. We've got 127. That's fine. We'll leave that there. Probably this weekend. Supposedly it's not bad. Let me know what you think. Well, I'll let you know what I think now. We're going to take it up, but I've been seeing a couple of people have some luck with it. It's a short flight, so 7.5 is fine with the fuel. We'll leave the rest of that. Yeah, there's Johnny, there's plenty of work to be done on it still, but it's a start, man. The thing's only been out a week and change, and they've already gotten this far with it, so that's not bad. So 1-5 out of Burbank today, SLAP 2 departure. And the mice in transition. We'll go ahead and insert that into McCarran. It'll be 26 left. Kepik 6. And I think Preno is the transition, or the via, yes. So we'll hit Preno here. Mycin again. This thing has no logic. It just erased everything I just did. Let's try it again. Capex 6, Preno, insert. You're in the labs now and it's just not the same. That environment spoils you. It does, man. It does. But then you look out the window and realize you're still in P3D, so there's that. There is that as well. Alright, pro window heat can go on for now. On this initial climb, I think we're 8,000. Let's get that dialed in. Go VORs. Constraint. Flight directors. Managed speed. It's good to go. Let us step through this route, because this aircraft and this sim has a tendency to completely rearrange the route that you've put into the McDo. So let's just step through that really quick. So out of Burbank, 1-5. We'll brief the departure in a second. I just want to make sure the arrival looks good into Vegas. It's a weird loop here, but it's a default aircraft. We're not sweating it. So that looks good. We'll put that back on arc. I can go to 10. Really no ground services for us to call at this airport. It's not modeled here for Burbank from ORBX, unfortunately. I think we've got to get GSX in here for sure. It's a well done airport though. It was fine in P3D, but obviously it looks even better in MFS. Alright, flap is open. We'll go ahead and start that up. What you'll notice here is we've got an APU page finally. We've got an engine page. I think that was always there. We've got a bleed page now. The wheel page is not in op, but not quite modeled yet. Hydraulics not modeled yet. We've got a fuel page now as well. So all of that looks good. And there's going to be plenty of work continued to be done with this aircraft. Exactly, does what it wants to do. Johnny, let me know if the chat is pretty delayed again. Keeping an eye on that. We've got the cabin temperature controls available now as well. Again, they've done a lot of good work already with this aircraft. It's almost it's being called a Zibo 2.0 for the Airbus. It's always exciting to see the sim community come together and get that stuff done. They've modeled the APU startup time as well, so it's a little bit more realistic. If we pop outside, you can hear it spooling up now. The default aircraft by itself, that thing used to fire up like I turned the key to start my car. Was pretty unrealistic. So they've changed some parameters and logic in that as well. We've got liveries also. I don't think I've streamed since they've released the liveries earlier this last week. Again, the community is working really fast already on this sim. So we've already got like I think 150 liveries for the Airbus already. It's insane. Folks went to work, man. They went to work. So APU is available. We can get the bleed on now as well. We get the seatbelt signs on now that we've got the APU started, and fuel pumps can come on. Let me know if the sim sounds are too low. You can't hear the engines or anything like that. I've turned them down a bit here just to make sure it wasn't overpowering the microphone. Yeah, the community is not playing at all, man. Alright, I think we're ready to go here. We've got APU started. We'll squawk 2200. We're not on VATSIM, unfortunately, man. I do miss VATSIM. Supposedly in the update that is the patch that's being pushed out here in a couple of days, supposedly will address the sim connect issue so we can finally get vPilot going again. But to keep the habit, I will kind of make sure we're doing the same things we would generally do if we were on VATSIM. So we'll get that to 122.8. We're squawking 2200 and TA or Mode Charlie. That's all good. We can get the beacon light on. Yeah, let's real quick. Let's take a look at our routing and departure out of here, shall we? So it'll be the SLAP 1 departure. The top altitude on the SID is 23,000 feet, but generally I think we're given about 8,000 on the initial climb. Out of 1.5, it's a climbing right turn on a heading of 210, and then it's usually radar vectors to Ravy or SLAP. This aircraft again kind of does what it wants to do, so we've got to be very careful on this departure here before the aircraft essentially tries to kill us. So we've got to watch for that. You almost got to throw every logic that you know for the most part out the window when it comes to this default A320. But if you know how to handle it, it's fun to fly in the interim, let's put it that way. So yeah, that's our departure. We'll brief the arrival in a sec. Only going up to 23,000 feet today. It's a pretty short flight. And yeah, with that, we are ready to get out of here. So we'll get number 1 fired up as we push back. Again, there are no ATC services at this airport, unfortunately, with ORBX. So we'll get 1 fired up, and we'll just do shift P to push us back, or at least a parking brake. We'll hold right here. We want to be careful. We do have an active runway behind us, so that's number 1 coming alive. There's the hydraulics. We can get number 2 fired up now. Doesn't just take a little bit here. They are the Neo. They take quite a while to spool up, but I think we've got 2 good starts. Ignition mode selector, normal, APU bleed, and master can go. I can't wait till they address this. The external power should not even be there anymore once you started pushing back, so I'm sure they'll correct that as well. Bigger fish to fry for sure. It'll be a flaps 1 departure. We will get the auto brake set to max, terrain on ND. We want to get our weather radar set to 1. That's in up. That's right. We're ready to go. Ready to taxi. We're gonna flip, make a right hand turn here. Flip around. Release the parking brake. Hopefully we don't hit our good man here. That was close. That was real close. VATSIM 69, I love ORBX as well, man. It is awesome. FlightSim 69, appreciate the subscribe, my friend. Well, Captain, I think developers would have been given access to SDK way earlier than they did, and it's one mistake Microsoft made. I agree. I think part of it, though, Darren, was the fact that the SDK wasn't really done. So I think some people had it, parts of it, but it really wasn't done and available until just before release. FlightSim 69, how'd you get the view? I will show you that once we're in cruise. Remind me, FlightSim 69. We've got to edit the camera config file. If you've flown Xplane, you would kind of know what I mean. Oh, we missed our turn. It's almost the same as Xplane, where you've got to edit the camera config file. I will go ahead and show you guys once we get airborne and stuff. Alright, I crossed an active. I didn't have any lights on, so you definitely don't ever want to do that. Taxi lights. Look at the landing lights on already. And we're running off the taxiway. The taxi lights are still an issue in this aircraft. I think they illuminate the cockpit like really bright. You don't see it as much now because it's still light out, but actually I think the community guys might have fixed that. I don't see any light at all in the cockpit once I put that to tack. Crossing an active with no strobes or lights on, man. Insane. Call the call the number, right? Call the number. Alright, we're on our way, man. We're on our way. We are completely offline again. No VATSIM until they fix the SIM Connect issue, and live traffic is turned off to save frames and overall performance here. Alright, we're coming up on the active. Strobe on. Nose light to take off. Don't need the wing lights right now, still pretty light out. Generally I would go packs off, especially at an airport like Burbank. That's slightly elevated and it's pretty hot out, so just to help our climb performance, but this aircraft simulates nothing of the such of that magnitude, so we don't have to worry about that. Clear on the approach. Again, no one online, but it's always good to continue to keep that in practice. What's your outside air temperature? 28°C, man. It's hot as hell here in LA for the last 3 weeks. Generally, I would keep it rolling, but again, this aircraft is very temperamental, so I want to make sure everything is set here before we do anything. Alright, parking brake, let's see. Flight directors are set, you see what I mean? Auto throttle, that generally would have been on automatically in the real aircrafts, but no worries, we'll turn that on now. Auto brake max, terrain on ND set 40. Damn, John, it's hot. It's hot in DF dub, Johnny. It's crazy. That's set, that's set. Again, I'm gonna go heading mode here on the initial climb out. 210. Flaps 1, config 1 plus F, and indicating spoilers are not armed. See what I mean? We've got to double check and check things, man. Runway turnoffs can go on now. The clock is not simulated in this aircraft, so we'll leave that alone. And I'm ready to go if you guys are. Got nose pressure here. Wait, I forgot another thing. We didn't do our performance. It's amateur hour today, guys. I mean, it's kind of in there already. It is the default aircraft and it doesn't care what you put in here, but it's always good practice. So let's just throw something in there. And we're gonna be flexing. All right, let's try this again. Stable. That's thrust set. Airspeed's alive. That's 80 knots. We'll slowly move the stick here to neutral. That's our V1, no call out, we'll rotate. We'll keep climbing here. 10 degrees almost, a little over 10 degrees. Gears up. We're getting ground spoilers armed in orange on the ICAST. That shouldn't be. We want it armed, so we'll ignore that. Alright, we'll start the right-hand turn now. Looking good. Good old Burbank. Gorgeous departure. I'm gonna go ahead and take the flaps up. Unfortunately, this aircraft does not want to start increasing its speed until you go flaps up for some reason. So got flaps up now when it's in auto throttle mode. We'll continue the right hand turn. Again, the flight director should have stopped me. We only had 210 dialed in, but continued anyway, but we'll keep going. Disarm the spoilers. These lights can go. Alright, I have to take up checklist. Gears up, no lights, flaps retracted, spoilers disarmed, the lights as required, packs are on. We're on our way. So we'll go direct Ravy. We'll go managed or nav. Alright, we'll continue the altitude here up to 230 is our cruise for today. We've got climb enunciated on the FMA. That looks good. It's maintaining 250 below 10,000. As soon as we're past 10,000, you're going to see this thing just shoot up. There it goes. So ideally, that's what the real aircraft would do as well, but not so aggressively. It would depend on your climb profile. But this aircraft does not take the climb profile or cost index into account, so all good. 10,000 feet, landing lights off. We'll give it to the autopilot now, see what it does. Alright, trying to find its way. Let's pop outside. Gorgeous. Spirit rings. I know, Johnny, finally, man, after days of where the hell is this aircraft going? You see what I mean? Alright, direct Yappy, please. Don't know where you're going, but you're not following the flight plan. Yeah, after days of troubleshooting all those issues, Johnny, yeah, so far, knock on wood, so far so good. Dude, look at this. I don't know what it... Oh, man. It's finding its way, slowly but surely. We'll get to Vegas, trust me. Lab said you can always come home. Hard pass, man. I'm not firing up P3D anytime soon. I'm sorry. Alright, terrain on ND can go off standard. What the hell, bro? Standard set and cross-checked. We're on our way. If I get that frustrated with this aircraft, Johnny, I would just stop flying it and just... Again, like I said, keep mixing it up with GA. There's nothing that will send me back to P3D this quickly. Oh man, can always come home. That's funny. All right, before I forget, what was I gonna do? Oh, flight sim 69 if you're still there. So here's where you go to edit the camera stuff. And Johnny, you may be interested in this as well. Oh, you guys are not going to be able to see that. Let me switch to the other monitor. P3D is sad right now. Immersion nowhere close. I know, man. The aircrafts are great. The immersion just kills it. So I wouldn't. It'll be hard for me to go back, man. So you go to. You find your community folder. Again, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. The same place you would go to install those liveries and all that stuff. Then you want to go to packages, official, one store, and then you find the aircraft camera config that you want to edit. So you go to the A320 NEO because that's the one we're talking about here. You go to sim objects, airplanes, Zibo A320 NEO, and then you find the camera config. Cameras here. You open that up, and then you search for porthole 1 and porthole 2. Just lost internet connection. Lovely. Let me know if I lose you guys. So you go to Control F. So just search for port, that's fine. The first one that comes up, you see there is porthole 1, porthole 01. And then you scroll down to initial XYZ and initial PBH, these two here, and you edit the camera definitions, or essentially what this is showing you, 2, which is here, and under porthole 2, same thing, initial XYZ, initial PBH, so 1.73 to 0.72, and then -5, 0, and 100. So again, all you're doing is editing the position of the cameras on that view, and that's pretty much it. You lost me, damn it. Am I back now? How long did I lose you guys for? Alright, we are officially in cruise. Since we have the seatbelt signs modeled now, we can get those off. For now. Again, they will be bringing the chime feature to it as well. So that's, that'll be pretty cool to be able to simulate that. Smoking will continue to stay on auto. right, top of descent will be in a little bit here. Two to 3 minutes. Damn. Apologies, man. I'm still fighting with Spectrum on this internet, man. It showed that the actual stream itself didn't drop though, so that's interesting. Alright, we're well on our way here. We've got about 80 or so nautical miles until our first restriction, which is at Clar. We want to cross Clar at 13,000 today. If I could get to Aerosoft level to be a decent, yeah, man. Aerosoft was never, you know, FSLABS quality, but it was flyable, you know what I mean? I didn't have to worry about the aircraft killing me en route or on departure or on arrival or it not following the flight plan. So, yeah, I would definitely take an Aerosoft quality. I know John would argue with me on that. He would rather not fly the Airbus at all, but I don't think that's reasonable. I would definitely take an Aerosoft quality. We're not seeing a Labs quality Airbus in this sim for at least a year and a half to 2 years. I'm pretty sure of that. Yep, exactly, Johnny. All right, really quick, let's brief this arrival into lost wages. So KPEC 6 arrival, like I said, I'm gonna cross Meissen at 2.4. We can ignore that. Our cruise wasn't even that high. We're only at 2.3. Clara is our initial first restriction. We want to make sure we're at 13,000. KPEC will be 13,000 as well. IPUMI 11,230 knots. Nipso at 9. Sunset at 8. Kimi at 210 and 8. Chips 8,170. And then it'll be we'll join the approach course for 26 left and come in there. For Vegas, we're gonna park where Spirit usually parks. Let's see if we can pull up a map here. So we'll land 26 left. I'll vacate. And they usually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, park around the Charlie or Bravo gate. So we'll find something over there and park accordingly. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it for the arrival. The aircraft really does not have a VNAV profile, so I can't trust it to maintain the altitude and speed restrictions. I mean, they've got it published there, but believe me, if you put this in a managed climb, or for this case, a managed descent, it will completely ignore it. So we're gonna vertical speed mode this thing down. We actually can pick the speed up a bit here. We're first for the airport. Clearly, we have no one else online, so let's pick our speed up here. No need to cruise so slow. Great day out here, though, in the Vegas area, if you will. Quite lovely. We've been having issues with this sim with live weather. Essentially, it doesn't friggin' work. So, and live time as well. So we have this to live time. It's showing 6:47. That is incorrect. It should be over here for us on the West Coast. It is 6:30 on the nose. So we'll fix that. It's the little things, man. Well, not even little things. It's the big things that it would take little things on their side, Microsoft that is, to address. I can't believe they released a sim without a proper working live weather and correct time functionality. Alright, we can start down here a little bit, so 13,000, we'll vertical speed it down. The time has been okay on your end? Yeah, it's weird. It's for me, it'll start off fine and then it just loses it. I hope it's server issues and not, you know, actually code issues. I really do, Johnny, because that's terrible, man. And some of the folks on different forums and whatnot keep saying connect to a different server. I guess, look at this thing trying to nosedive us. I guess the European servers are not having any issues with live weather and live time, so I'm gonna try to do that probably next time. I think the US servers are having issues with the live weather and live time. But Meta Blue, I guess, is who we're pulling weather data for in the sim. I think is located in Europe, so that makes sense. If they're gonna have issues, it'll be on our side and not over on the European side. I'm gonna increase that rate of descent just a bit more here. Johnny, what's the group flight wave tomorrow, man? What are we checking out? Man, LOL. I've been having loads of fun with those group flights, man. Hopefully John joins us tomorrow as well. Let's bring that speed back. We are over Clar, or just about. Lost wages is showing current weather and METAR 260 at 7, 299 or 7. So we'll get the altimeter set 2977 actually. Oh, look at that. It looks accurate. That's actually spot on for once. I wonder if the winds are the same. We've got broken clouds at 15,000, yada yada yada. Other than that, we've got great weather coming into Vegas right now, so not worried about that. We're looking good, guys. We're looking good. We're gonna dial in our next restriction, which is 11,000. Terrain on ND. Okay, it's holding our restriction. Yeah, McKnight, it's looking good, man. It's looking good. Alright, 11,000 blue. This thing might actually follow the VNAV profile down. Let's see. Look at that. Alright, we've got a bit of some turbulence here, which is pretty normal for as we fly over this mountain range here, almost on the downwind to Vegas. So that's cool that that's simulated or at least working correctly. We can get the localizer switches armed. Auto brake, we'll go low. We're approaching 10,000. We can get the landing lights on now. Looks good, looks good. Seatbelt signs can come back on. There's Vegas off to our left. Johnny, do you have the issues with the buildings looking essentially terrible until you're right up on top of them? Especially these major buildings like on the Vegas Strip. It's pretty bad. Supposedly, from what I've read, it wasn't like that in Alpha, and Microsoft did something with the terrain or the autogen draw distance, especially on the buildings, so that they look pretty bad until you're right up on top of them. Okay, it happens to you as well. Alright, not just me, just making sure. think the live weather looks good. 225 at 3. I don't know if that's accurate, but the altimeter definitely is. Maybe tuning on the back end, yeah. Maybe. We're essentially downwind. Usually what I would do, especially on a day like today, and ATC as well, they'd break us off this arrival and just let us shoot the visual from here. So in fact, that's what we'll do. Let's get down 3,000, open descent. Let's bring the speed back here to Relin. We want to be... let's say 180 on the speed. Alright, my aircraft, she does not want to descend, so we'll come down here to 3,000. We'll activate approach phase already. I did not fill that out. I'm not worried about it. I don't think it takes that into account anyway. Actually, let's see if we can do it really quick. 260 at 7. 200 feet. Decision height. Flaps full. 2977. Hot as hell in Vegas as well. 39 degrees Celsius. Sheesh. 18,000 on the transition. Alright, we set that up really quickly. We're good to go there. Gonna throw out some spoilers, help us slow down a bit here, get to flaps 1 speed. That's flaps 1. Start that turn. Oh my gosh, it's so nice out there. Wow. I don't know why she's... I don't know why she was speeding up. I got 180 dialed in. Come on, man. Back to climb, auto thrust. Behave yourself. Let's go. Flaps 2. That sun is glaring. Alright, there we go. Got the airport, we're a bit high. Gonna drop the gear already. Help us look at that, light up the entire cockpit. Help us get some drag. Go flaps 3. Lighting is the best you've seen. I know, man. It's awesome. I know John doesn't like it, but I think this is what you would contend with landing into the sun like this. That's why they wear shades, man, and it's depicted really nicely in the sim. Again, ground spoiler's arms should not be enunciated in orange like that. That's something they're gonna have to take a look at. Flaps full. Alright, landing checklist. Gear is down. 3 greens. Flaps full, auto thrust speed. Lights as required. Approach phase is activated. Slowly get back on the glide slope, hey. Yeah, it's very accurate, Johnny. Very accurate. Alright, so this aircraft is really temperamental on final, like it is in every stage of the flight here, so our approach speed is going to be pretty high. What we're going to do is try to retard the throttles a bit early here. There's also really no true flare mode logic here. It doesn't really flare. If you try to flare it like you would in the regular Airbus, you'll float down the entire runway, so we're just going to try to get it down and get it down quick. Small corrections again. Any overcorrecting on short final with this aircraft will be detrimental. So again, it's default. It's just what we got to work with right now.
60, 50, 40.
And I gotta just let it fly down.
Retard. 5.
There you go. Alright, we're down. Spoilers, I don't see spoilers indicated. We'll assume they deployed, and reverse is green. At least that works. 70 knots out of reverse. Take the first exit here on the right. We'll clean up, flaps up. That was fun. Fun little approach. Alright, kill the flight directors. Constraints. Like I said, we're going to try to park over by the Charlie or Bravo gates. We'll check before we cross the active. Again, we're offline, so I don't expect any traffic. Start the APU. Strobe auto, turnoffs can go. They've got Allegiant modeled here. I didn't realize that before. That's pretty cool. Rollout on the FMA should have been gone by now, so that's something that needs to be corrected as well. Terrain on ND can go. Can get the weather radar off. This thing needs a lot of power to keep moving after you land for some reason. We're gonna park up next to the Allegiant, why not? Landing lights can go. Here should be fine. Parking brake set. Our APU not available yet. We'll give it a second. That was fun. Like I said, it's a nice little arrival when you know how to actually deal with the aircraft itself. Available. Oh, I'm sorry, that's already on. We'll go bleed. Pretty hot outside. We want to keep the cabin cool for the turnaround. And that's it. Let's kill engine 1. Engine 2. Transponder to standby. That you can't move. Beacon light can come off. Fuel pumps off. We'll call ATC here. Ground services. I need jetway connection, please. There's a jetway connecting for us. I need baggage. Just a master caution that the front door is opening. That shouldn't be there either, but that's fine. We don't know where the baggage is. Funny. Alright, we'll call catering. Hopefully you know where the catering truck is. We can't send you catering truck. Please retry later. Alright, so you're gonna find that at some of the airports, some of the services just don't want to work. I'm gonna try one more time. The truck is right outside. Don't know what its deal is. There we go. Let's call the baggage again. How about no catering on a quick turn? Especially on Spirit, you're right. Alright, but it's working now. That's baggage, that's catering. Especially on Spirit, man. Alright, I'll let you guys take a look at that, see the services going on while I look for a flight plan here back to Burbank. Not even a pack of crackers or on Spirit. Nah, man, not even. And if you do, you gotta pay for it, like $10. All right, Burbank. I'll tell you what, we're gonna depart runway 19er, so we can take a look at the strip on departure. All right, we're back with a flight plan here. It's looks like all the services are done. Let's hop back in the cockpit here, and so that's another thing, it doesn't clear out the flight plan when you're done, unfortunately. I've never done a return in this aircraft, so hopefully it works okay. So on our flight back, we're Spirit Wings 726 this time. We're only going up to 220 today. Ontario, no. So Santa Barbara is our alternate, according to SimBrief. Fuel. We're taking 11363. I didn't even monitor our fuel burn on this flight. It looks like it was fine. So it looks like they did fix that, so that's cool. 11363. That's what we got in there right now. Let's put a little bit more. No, that's way too much. Let's do 11. Do 12. I'll take that. Takeoff weight should be 147. I'm good with 123. I could put a little bit more. That's good there. What else? So that looks good. We're good to go on that front. 58.6. That's that. 5.7 on the block fuel. That's that. I'm not filling any of this out. It doesn't matter anyway. They don't take any of that into account. Yeah, see, it didn't reset us. How am I supposed to? do a turn in this damn aircraft. That's changed there. This is stupid. How are we supposed to go back to Burbank? Holy mackerel. Nope. Don't tell me we gotta back all the way out. Good grief. Alright folks, that's what we're gonna do. Unfortunately, you can't do a turn in this default as hell aircraft, so we'll back out of the sim and go back in. World map, Las Vegas. Set that as departure, and we'll go ahead and fly. So it doesn't clear out the McDo in the flight plan, so we'll remember that for next time. If we're going to do multiple legs, you've got to reset everything essentially. Why does it look like our nose is touching the... Oh man, that's so funny. Alright. Let's get the heck out of here. Let's try this again. Marcus, how you doing, man? Good evening. Welcome to the stream. We're on our way back to Burbank. We're going to do this turn back to Burbank. Let's get everything fired back up again. Unfortunately, this default aircraft, you're not really able to simulate a turn. Kind of got to restart the entire session. So we'll do that. That's that. That's that. ADRS's nav. Yeah, I don't know if yeah, you could call it a bug or they just didn't care to simulate that. Tons of bugs with this aircraft, but I'm glad to see this community is taking a little bit of time to put some TLC on it. We did do that to auto already. Probe window heat. That's all getting set up. So again, we are back to our return trip back to Burbank. We're gonna do KLAS to Hollywood Burbank International. Santa Barbara is our alternate today. We are Spirit Wings 726. Not on VATSIM, unfortunately, until they fix that SIM Connect issue. I cannot wait. I really miss VATSIM. Brings a level of immersion that you just don't get flying offline. 220 is our cruise back. Fuel. That's way too much fuel for this trip. We're going to only need 11363. I'll just put 12, that's fine. On board 122, that works for me. So we got 55. Gonna 55.7 and 25.0. Block fuel 10.6. That's not accurate. I'm gonna make that 5.5. Although I don't know if that's kilos or pounds. So if that's pounds, then that's close. That set up out of Las Vegas. I want to depart south because I want to take a look at the strip. So 19er left will be the Boch 8 departure and the wig transition. We'll insert that into Burbank today. It'll be the ILS 8 Yankee via the January 5 arrival, and it'll be the Krim transition, although I don't see it, so we'll just go ahead and insert that and step through the flight plan and make sure that's all there. Oh, there's Krim. It's forcing us to use Maikai for some reason. Whatever, we'll insert that. Performance will be 1 up. We'll just say 0.1. We'll flex to... It's pretty warm out there, friends. Let's flex to 65. We've got a really long runway. It's hot out. You don't need to stress out the engines. So that's that. Top altitude. First of all, let me make sure live weather. Nope. And time is active. Alright, altimeter 2975. That seems almost correct. Flight directors are on. Constraints are on. Top altitude on this SID is 150. Managed. VORs, auto throttle. We'll get the APU fired up. Seatbelt signs can come on. While that's doing its thing, let's step through this flight plan. Alright, that's 19er left, Boch 8, picking up the January 5. That looks good. Wabbit. Maikai. All right, my friends. That is that's a good deal. Flap is open on the APU, so we can start it. Let's take a look outside. I can't believe the aircraft's nose is like an inch from the terminal, it looks like over there. Lovely Las Vegas. Again, this is all default. I think that's pretty phenomenal that you've got this stuff looking default. In the past, you would need a whole heck of a lot of ortho. Well, not in the past, you still need it in the other sims, but in the other sims you need a whole heck of a lot of ortho and payware, Fly Tampa to get the city modeled and all that stuff. I still think we need an actual Las Vegas airport, so if Fly Tampa comes out with their imports their Vegas over, I will definitely buy it. But I mean, for default, this is pretty phenomenal. All right, we'll wait for the APU to spin up. Alright, we're ready to go. We'll call for a pushback. Tune clearance. Alright, we've got that. Again, I don't use the default ATC, generally on VATSIM. I'm only doing this so that we can access the pushback services. So I have to go to sleep. It's 4:20 a.m. Wow. Yeah, you're up pretty late, man, or early. Have a great night, man. We'll see you again on the next stream. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, ground services, pushback should now be available. There we go, request pushback. Alright, one last check again. Fuel pumps are on, beacon is on and rotating. We've got APU and APU bleed on, signs on and auto. Thrust levers are set to idle. Parking brake is set. We are squawking mode Charlie. Boom, 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 boom. All of that looks good. Pop outside. All right, we can get engine 1 started. Engine 1 cranking up, get the parking brake off. Kind of ridiculous that they still push you back with the brakes on. That's poor logic. Hopefully it's addressed, or we'll just have to deal with it till we get GSX in the sim. Alright, we want him to face us in the correct direction, so we'll ask him to steer right. This thing is so delayed, and then left again really quick. And then right, engine 1's fired up, starting engine 2. Alright, and he could stop the pushback. Disconnected, parking brake is set. Engine 2 spooling up. I think that's 2 good starts for us. Auto brake max, terrain on ND on. Gorgeous evening departure here out of Vegas. Crossing 10,000 feet, landing lights can go now. So can the wing lights. Alright, we're direct Boch. We'll get the autopilot on. In a bit here, we will brief the arrival into Burbank. It's a pretty short flight back. Alright, we're through 18,000. We'll get this set to standard and cross-checked. Terrain on Indy can go. Bump up the range here just to give us an idea of how far out we are. Alright, it's 22,000. Seatbelt signs can come off. Well, on our way here, right? So let's take a look at our charts really quick. So we're coming in to pick up the Janney 5 arrival into Burbank, crossing Cream at 240, which we're only cruising at 22 today, so we're not worried about that. Our initial restriction will be John. We want to be below Diver at 19. Below, we're at 14 at Copel. Palmdale, we went across the Palmdale VOR at below 13,000. Puck 8. Janney at 8. Elmer above 7. Wabbits 6,000. And then it's an RNAV vectors to ILS 08. So that's essentially it in a nutshell. At Burbank, once we get there, we're literally going to pull right off the runway and pull into gate 4 or 5. So really short taxi. Not really a taxi at all, rather. So that's it. Gonna pick up some speed a bit here. We're not online or anything like that, so pretty nice evening for flying, that's for sure. I think this will actually be our first nighttime arrival here in this sim since it was released. I haven't done a nighttime flight before. But yeah, the sim's still being worked on and patched up by Microsoft and Asobo. A whole lot of things that they are trying to get to. I think their priority, however, right now is to fix a lot of the issues or the installation issues that folks were having up front. And then I think we'll start to see some of the performance and little other autopilot logic and kind of some other terrain fixes here shortly after that. Their first priority, obviously, though, is to make sure the sim is accessible to everyone, so I can agree with that. Alright, we're making our way slowly here now into Burbank. Again, our initial restriction, not worried about these here, we're only cruising at 22. John, we want to be at 22. So we really don't start descending until after Basel, and then we want to be below 19,000 at Diver. We'll bump the speed up a bit here just to keep things moving along. Those of you with MFS or Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 would love to get your thoughts on how the sim is treating you so far. It's a whole lot of complaining out there, that's for sure. I think overall it's pretty fantastic. There are several items, I think, or more than several items for sure, that need to be addressed, but we'll see it in due time. We've already got Zibo type mod aircrafts here. Look at this A320. Pretty much everything in here was in op a week ago. We've already got folks in the community working on that. It's a little bit more enjoyable to fly. We've got liveries already. I mean, within days we had liveries. I think there's about 150 liveries now for the A320 NEO, so a lot of work left to be done, but between the community and the developers and Microsoft and Asobo, man, this sim will be in tip-top shape in just a few months, I'm sure of it. Got some precipitation there on the ND. Some clouds out there, but nothing to be concerned with. We just left Burbank to come to Vegas here, and it was a nice departure route. So unless the weather and atmospheric conditions have significantly changed since we left about an hour ago, which I doubt, we're not worried about the weather coming into the airport at the moment. Great content so far, McKnight. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you being here from the beginning. Really hope you're enjoying the flight this evening. Wanted to obviously show off ORBX Burbank. Fantastic job by them. Show off the modded A320 NEO, slightly modded at least. Much more work coming there from the community on this. They've got a handful of real world pilots helping them as well, so give it a month, my friends. We're gonna have an airworthy A320 NEO to fly, I'm sure. Right now the aircraft is just very default and temperamental. You've really got to be careful and watch it and not get behind the aircraft, because it's default and because a lot of the logic isn't built in. It's very hard to get back ahead of the aircraft and recover certain aspects of it. So as long as you know what you're doing, it's fine. Trying to find the I always lose the interior views. There we go. The community will have it tamed in a month or so for sure, Darren. Damn it, I keep losing this camera view. Alright, so we are just past our initial restriction, which was John at 220. That was our cruise anyway for this flight back to Burbank, so we're good to go here. We want to be below 19,000 at diver, so we will in a second or so here start a slow descent down into Burbank finally. Darren, how you liking MFS, man? What have you been flying? I've been trying a whole host of different aircrafts. I'm not too familiar with them yet. That's why you see me flying the A320 and the Dreamliner and stuff so far on the sim. But as I continue to get more familiar with the aircrafts, I will definitely start streaming those as well. I'm really interested in the Citation, the Cessna Citation. That one is modded as well. I downloaded a modded pack for it. Kind of like the Neo, but it's a little further along, so we might fly that one tomorrow to get some practice runs in it, and if I feel comfortable enough we'll stream it as well. Definitely like that. All the other GA aircrafts, I've been flying the TBM, the Diamond, the Icon A5. I saw the Icon A5 when they were debuting the sim, or previewing the sim rather, and never really piqued my interest, but man, that aircraft is a blast to fly, especially when you're able to go to just remote parts of the world and whatnot and land on the water. Johnny and I have been having a blast in some of these group flights here. Been really cool. All right, let's start down here. Let's dial in 17,000. And the aircraft's descending. Before we forget, I want to take a look at the weather at Burbank, see, have an idea about what we're dealing with here. We've got winds 130 at 9. at 9. Temperature 25 degrees Celsius, clear skies. Altimeter is 2978. Decision height on the ILS runway 08 over at Burbank. 828 feet. So we'll get that in for the MDA. All right, we're straight. We'll get 14 managed. We have no speed restrictions on this arrival, so speed is basically our discretion. If we were on with ATC, it would be our discretion as well, unless he told us or she told us otherwise. So we'll keep the speed up with that being said. And so far so good. really have been just working on tweaking my new rig because I already have experience with most of the aircrafts in the sim. Gotcha, Darren. Gotcha. What kind of rig are you? What kind of rig do you have? Rig, rather. What are you doing to a new graphics card and all that? Yeah, the VNAV in this aircraft is so screwy. So it waits until the last minute and then dives to hit the altitude restriction. So we're going to continue this approach here, or this arrival, in vertical speed mode. Seatbelt signs can come on. The CJ4 is fun to fly. I know, I tried it a little bit. Definitely want to get some more hands-on time with it as well. McKnight. So Burbank is going to be to our, roughly our 10 o'clock over this mountain range here. We'll keep that speed up still. Actually, we want to, didn't realize we were so close already. Let's bring that speed back now to about 270. Getting decent performance so far. I've averaged about 25 to 35 frames per second in this A320 NEO. No matter where I am. I haven't been able to really fly through any thunderstorms or heavily clouded areas or whatnot in this sim yet, so I'll be interested to see what I get there. We'll probably go weather hunting this weekend. We'll see. But considering the fact that the jets aren't really optimized performance-wise, the entire sim really still needs some optimization work. 30 FPS I'll take. I'll definitely take 30 FPS. Speed 250 now. "10,000 feet, landing lights can come on." Put the wing lights on as well. We'll chime the cabin crew, indicating our final approach into Burbank here. Speed's coming back nicely. Profile's coming back nicely. There's the oral, we're already picking up the marker there for Burbank. Look at that. Look at this night flight, man. Alright folks, 6.8, we're below our actual constraint here, so let's do our best to slightly level off. We've got, our MSA is actually 9.9, so we're teetering here. We don't want to be below this 6,000 feet as we cross this mountain terrain here.
2,500. 2,500.
Actually, we need to get our barometric pressure set. Terrain on ND. Yeah, see, I should have watched that a little bit closer. We'll clear it, but we're too low for comfort here. Alright, Burbank is back in that direction over there somewhere. Look at that. That's way too close. That is my fault, my friends. We're not paying attention here to our charts. We're way too low. We're about 1,000 foot lower than we should be. But again, we're fine here. I'm gonna go medium on the auto brake. We've got the localizer switches armed. Terrain on ND. Pretty short runway for runway 8 at Burbank. The terminal is immediately to our right once we vacate, so we've just got to get her down and get her stopped. AMD 3900 x64 gigs of RAM. Wow, 3600s. Yep. RTX 2080 Ti. That's impressive there, man. That'll run this sim for sure really well. And again, they still have optimization to do because folks are running that 2080 Ti and 64 gigabytes of RAM and not struggling by any means, but definitely should be getting higher FPS than what they're actually getting now. All right. Alright, so far so good. We want to go 220 on the speed. Yeah, and a lot of this is a little bit premature, but again, we want to stay ahead of this aircraft. We already see Burbank here. We've got Van Nuys right down there. Let's go with the RexSky. If it's here, no, it's not here. The approach fixes, and that's another thing. Hopefully, we'll see fixed soon. We'll have to just manually vector ourselves that way. The approach fixes for the runways in the McDo, you're not able to go direct to for some reason. Let's actually level off. We'll continue that left turn. Yeah, and lots of mountain areas and whatnot here in the Burbank area. Hello, good evening, friends. Those of you just tuning in, we're on our second leg back home here into Burbank. We did Burbank to Vegas, and now we are on our arrival now back into ORBX Burbank, debuting that lovely scenery. We're also in the community modded Airbus A320 NEO. Kind of flies the same way still, but wow, look at it down there, gorgeous. Kind of flies the same way still, but they've made some lovely adjustments to certain switches and whatnot that used to be in op. So that's pretty cool. We'll maintain this altitude for now. That's the view I've been looking for. Apologies about that. Those are some of the hiking trails down there. Runyon Canyon and all that good stuff. Start turning. And we can start our descent again. Why are we climbing? Come on. This is what I mean, guys. This aircraft, man. Alright, I see the runway. We're actually going to disconnect the autopilot. Take over here. Our aircraft. Or my aircraft. On 2978 on the altimeter. That's set. Johnny, you always come back when this airport's this aircraft's doing nonsense, man. Check flaps 1. Bit early on the flaps, but that's fine. It's a little bit of an overkill based on what you've seen. Gotcha, Darren. Listen, man, it's always great to future-proof, so at least you know you have no problems running the sim now and any other updates they would likely do in the future. Yeah, Johnny, the night lighting is fantastic, man. Good gosh. I love it. Super good. We're a bit high. We'll correct it. We've got plenty of time. Crossing over Ventura Airport here now. Real world fact, you always want to be above 3,000 when crossing Ventura. Traffic is constantly departing and arriving here at this little airport. Charlie, hello, good evening, man. Welcome to the stream. Wow, we've got a bunch of you now. Welcome, welcome, my friends. You guys joined late, man. We're on our second and final leg of the evening, back into Burbank. Don't worry, we'll probably be back this weekend here at some point with another stream. We'll take flaps 2. That's Ventura.
2,500.
2,500 check. Again, with this aircraft, like we did arriving into Vegas earlier, we want to make sure we are fully configured early. Small corrections only on final. This aircraft will kill you, man. So it's again, all logic that you think you know about the A320, you almost got to throw it out the window, because it has a mind of its own. Flaps 3, gear down. Get the lights on. Spoilers armed. So again, small corrections on final. You don't really flare it the way you would flare a regular Airbus. The flare logic is a little off. If you flare it too much or a proper way, the aircraft would literally just float on you. Burbank and runway 8 is not a runway or an airport you want to float this thing, so you will run out of room really quickly. So it might be a hard landing here, it is what it is, but we want to make sure we get it down and get it stopped. Alright, landing checklist, gear down, 3 greens, auto brake medium, auto thrust speed, flaps full and indicating, lights as required. We'll pretend the cabin crew has been advised. And we're clear to land runway 8. We got 4 whites saying I'm high, but I don't feel high, so we'll ignore that a little bit for now.
500.
We're coming back on the glide slope now.
300.
2 whites, 2 reds, what we want.
200. 100. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Just let it float.
Retard. 5.
Don't worry about it, that was rough, but we got it down. Spoilers, reverse green, decel, we're back on the center line. And we're stopped. A bit rough, but again, there's really no flare logic with this aircraft. Get the APU on. Get the flaps up. We're down. Gorgeous Burbank. ORBX really did a phenomenal job here. We'll vacate. Strobes can go off. Runway turn-offs off. Landing lights off. Taxi lights off. All right, where are we parking? Can we make this turn here? Yes, we can. Select directors off. This aircraft sure needs a lot of thrust to keep moving. We'll stop there. APU. Flap is open and rising. We'll wait for it to say available. In the meantime, we can go standby on the transponder. The weather radar can go. That's off. That's off. APU is now available. We'll get the bleed on as well. It's pretty warm out. It automatically connected the external power. Interesting. Engine 1 off. Engine 2 off. Unfortunately, ATC services does not work at this aircraft, or this airport rather, yet for some reason. I think we need a GSX or something, or maybe it's coming in a patch from ORBX. The beacon light can go. So essentially that's it for us then. We're down. Got the APU running. I can't wait for a GSX type service thing in this sim, man. It'll make it that much better. But yeah, that's it. So again, the purpose of this stream was to leave Burbank, head out to Vegas, and come back here. I wanted to show off the scenery and whatnot. I like it. I have it in Prepare 3D version 5 as well. They did a great job in that sim, and a fantastic job in Microsoft Flight Sim as well. So if you fly around the Southern California area a lot, I highly recommend it. So it's a great pickup. A big Southwest, Spirit, Alaska, and American hub, especially Southwest. As soon as we get that PMDG NG3 in here, we will definitely do a bunch of flights with Southwest in it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us, guys. If you are new to the channel here, new to the stream, definitely like and subscribe. We try to stream 2 to 3 times a week, schedule depending, maybe more. Johnny's in the chat as well, Stalker Actual Gaming. Feel free to check out his channel. Phenomenal content from Johnny there. We might do a group flight again. We've been doing a bunch of weekend group flights. So if you're interested, let me know. Drop your Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 ID down there in the chat window. We'll add you to our group and we'll go explore the world, man. Until then, my friends, you all take care. Johnny, thank you, man. Appreciate you all tuning in. And I guess we will see you all next time. Take care, man.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Birds chirping and I hear my my name. Grass is green and so alive. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a strive. Savannah.